Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks Replays. This is Tanks for the Mammeries, and today I've got two amazing replays for you guys. And the reason I'm putting these up is because I recently went out and got myself the Chaffee. And I also got the T-37, but, I'd had the Chaffee previously in another life when it had the Darth Vader helmet, which they then changed and moved it to the 37, and the Chaffee went back to its old turret. And I never really did anything with it, and so I decided to go back and buy the Chaffee. And the very first game I had, which I didn't record, was a really good game. We lost, but it was still a really good game. I ended up obviously top scorer. I had a really fantastic game and high caliber and all that sort of stuff. And you know, I find that when I haven't played for a while, I come back, I want to rush into things, and I want to be really aggressive, and I forget that I to play different styles, different kinds of vehicles, and the Chaffee and the 37 for that matter both seem to be the kind of vehicle that you can get into at my skill level, which is about honestly, tier 5 to 7 is about my skill level. But I can get into games in that allow me to be aggressive in a vehicle that performs with a good gun and an all-around adequate tank for the style of play that I tend towards when I haven't played in a while. Does that make sense? So, in other words, it is forgiving of my bad habits that I use when I haven't played World of Tanks in a while. So, I thought in celebration of getting the Chaffee that I would put up two Chaffee replays for you guys. And the first one here is on Sand River. It's RadioRich, and he is a very, very good player. He's the best player by far on either team. And he is going to have a nail biter of a match. He's going to carry the entire team on his little Chaffee back, and he is going to go all over the map in this fight. And without getting into too many spoilers on it, at the end of the match, he's down to like 4 hit points. And aside from some minor driving, things, he and obviously he's very, very stressed out in this match. He has an incredible game and really pulls it together at the end after making a very critical error against the heavy tank number 6 on the enemy team. He's going to make this guy RadioRich is extremely map aware, as you're going to see, and I'll point out to you as we go along here, except for one point in the game. And at that one point in the game, he almost blows the whole thing. He ends up with 4 hit points for the rest of the match. And it is a hell of a rest of the match after this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and speed things back up here and get the game going so you can see what's happening. And this is the first of 2 replays that I have for you guys today. So this is RadioRich in the Chaffee, and he is in a decently tiered match for his tank. Actually, he's in a great tiered match for his tank. And the enemy team, this is an even fight the whole way. So rather than go with all the heavy tanks to heavy tank corner, he's going to come over here to the light tank side and find himself a good bush up here to spot in. He is also going to use the bush for firing, or at least try to use the bush for firing later on by backing off, and you'll see that. So here's the first of his few driving errors that he makes. And I don't know if part of that's because of new physics or his particular computer, but anyway, so he starts spotting enemy tanks that are obviously very visible now. He's got a Lush up there. He's got this T-46. And that guy, the Lush, is going to be important later on. But for now, he's just hanging out in this bush. He's doing a little spotting. He's kind of like trying to zoom in on various things. And he doesn't have a shot on this guy without exposing himself. So he's going to try and back up. He's figuring that Lush is going to come around this corner up here where I've got it aimed right now. And so he's going to back up and try and take some shots on that guy in just a second. He's going to get to the point backs up. Nope, the bush isn't. He's still backing up. He's going to get to where the bush obscures his view, right about there. But the Lush is gone. So rather than continue to worry about that, now he's got a Panzer 38 who's going to come in and start doing some stuff. So he is figuring this guy down here who's going to climb the side of the rock. He's going to need some help. Helps him out, kills that guy. So that's kill number 1. Now, he's been spotted by the Lush and probably by a T-34 over on that other hill because he fired. But 38's heading out there, and so he's figuring he's going to go help the 38. And you got a T-34 right over there. Karplowski's coming down as well. So here's where he starts making some other kind of driving errors. He's trying not to throw track or flip the vehicle, doing all zigzagging. So he's going to try and help this 38, and there's the 34 coming with him. And the two of them, and they got some bad players in the other team. The other thing is, like me, RadioRich seems to use his auto-aim quite a bit. It's a bad habit I have. I'm fully aware it's a bad habit I have. I waste a lot of shots using my auto-aim. But he didn't stick around. He didn't wait. He got behind some cover. And at this point, the 34 is going to do something stupid. This guy's just going to come right off the hill and waste his tank. I don't know why he did that. So then you got another type up here as well, who's pretty much going to do the same thing. And that's going to be a couple of easy kills, but there's the Lush that originally showed up, and he's going to eat that Panzer 38 for lunch. So now it's only the Karplowski and RadioRich here on this side against the 34, the Type 34, and the Lush. So better to get closer together, stick with each other, and then out of nowhere comes a wild M37, who's going to pay for it by just kind of charging off into oblivion. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but he did that. So we see that they're worried about this Type over on this side. There we've got the Lush. So as the Lush is taking shots at Karplowski, RadioRich is going to try and keep the Lush's head down, which he does. Gets that guy to go behind cover, and then now he can take the hit from the Type. And then they spot artillery. And this is sort of a bit of bad luck here. They both miss. This guy hits. Then Radio hits, and Radio takes him for all but the last 8 hit points, but then the 34 finishes him off. Now, here's something I didn't know. The Chaffee is a fast tank. I knew that part. But what I didn't know is the Chaffee could actually chase down a Lush in a fair fight. And he's got the auto-aim on. He's never going to hit this fucking guy. One, the gun is not that accurate, and two, he's driving like a bat out of hell. So rather than go off the cliff, he follows him down and around, and he's chased now. He does a little slide there, which lost him some speed, but he is going to catch up to this cat. And the Lush is at this point shitting his pants, and that's the end of it. So we're now tied basically in score. It's 11-10. It's about to be 11-11 because they got the AMX ELC, which just evened the scores up by killing that TD. So very map aware. We've got RadioRich with 4 kills coming back to cap. And the other team at this point, you know, all those guys have got kills on their sides. And basically on Radio's side, he's got him and the T-34, and that's it. The other 2 players on this team have not done much of anything, and the artillery's running. So there's about a minute and a half of cap. They've got 2 enemy vehicles in the cap. But Rich is not charging for the cap. Right now what he's trying to do is get around the back here because he knows that ELC is going to be hunting our artillery. And so he's going to try and kill this guy because this is really the big worry for him. He knows what's in cap. But this is the tank that really could come after him. So he's going to try and find this guy. And this ELC is about to make a huge mistake. Just take a look here. So he comes up over the hill, and there's the ELC. And for some reason, he rides up right on the side of that rock And now he's trying to run away, and he's not going to make it. This is really cool here. He fires and misses right as that guy was coming off the cliff, and he gets a big old hit from the 36, from that VK. Now, the T-34, Karplowski's coming down from the other side, trying to give him some support. Artillery is just fucked off, God knows doing what. And then the T-34 stops, and I don't know why that is. This is where RadioRich lost map awareness. He comes around the corner. Now he picks it back up again because he manages to go through the maze here with quite a bit of... He gets missed by the heavy tank. Heavy tank. Somebody shoots at him again. Now the artillery's back here. He's got the heavy tank that way. The T-34 took a shot at him, did some damage to him. He's not letting it aim. It's bounced. He hits him there for a good bit. But he can't get sneezed on. He cannot get splashed at this point. 4 hit points. He's got 4 enemy vehicles to take care of. He can hit him now. Bounce. Oh my god. And there's the ELC behind him. Oh fuck, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Artillery is obviously not paying attention to the ELC right there. So at this point he's like, well, I'm going to go up. No, is the ELC coming down? He takes a shot at the artillery, which bounces it. He brushes the ELC back. And he figures, fuck it. Artillery can just be a target there. But because the artillery is now a target for the heavy tank, he can come up here and shoot that guy dead. So there's that. Now here's the ELC. He's up. He's moving and kills the ELC. Again, remember, 4 hit points left. Somebody just took a shot at him too. It was the VK. Now there's 34 seconds left on the cap. There's still 2 tanks down there. There's the VK and there's the OI experimental or whatever the fuck it is. So he's a little, I would not be that exposed. He's trying to figure out what to do. You can tell he's a little unsure of himself here because he's a bit hesitant with driving the vehicle. There's the OI. Sorry, not OI, experimental OI. And he hits him, but it obviously doesn't penetrate. Now he's using his APCR, and he's hit the VK. Hit him again. Bounce. Of course, it's a fucking bounce. Wargaming, you gotta fix that shit. There, he's killed the VK. Now it's just him and the OI, and he's bouncing the guy. So it's 50 seconds left to go. He's got to get closer. He's got to do it. Why is the OI not shooting back? Here's a guy on 7 kills. He's got 1 enemy left. He's done 1,300 damage at this point in time. 4 hit points left. 29 seconds on the clock. And he's trying to find a spot where he can shoot this OI and penetrate. The OI was facing him head on, so he's coming around this side. Hopefully the OI is not going to be looking at him. Because you know, if you were that OI, you ought to be looking around like crazy trying to figure out who's killing you. So there he is. There's the OI. He had 16 seconds left. 15 seconds left when he hit him. 9. Now it's back up to 4. So he's got 4 minutes left. And now it's just the OI. But notice the gun. Look at the gun barrel. Look at the gun barrel. The OI is AFK. So we had 1,306 damage done to enemy vehicles until he met the OI, who's AFK. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. He's going to end up with 2,400 damage or whatever, 2,300 damage. And 8 kills for the Chaffee, Sand River, 2,260 damage. Last bit was against an AFK OI. You know, at the end, this was a huge letdown for RadioRich because he was like, he's busting his ass, 4 hit points left, defeats everybody, an amazing snapshot on the ELC, kills the heavy tank. Of course, Artie was bait for that. He's down to the last two. He's got this VK and he's got the OI. Kills the VK after a couple of those fucking last shot kills and bounce bullshit. Gets over to the where he can see this OI, and the OI is AFK. It's got to be a letdown, but I'm sure he was thrilled that the OI was not alive, because I tell you what, if the OI had just sneezed a piece of sushi rice onto the Chaffee, RadioRich would have been dead. So RadioRich, outstanding game. Really enjoyed watching that. It was a nail biter there. Thanks very much for that. And guys, I got one more Chaffee replay for you coming up next. So stick around and we'll get right to it.
A few moments later.
Okay, as I promised, we're back. And this is Tanks from the Mammeries. This is World of Tanks Replays. And as I promised, the second battle on Sand River. Yeah, I know. I realized the first video, I was like, wow, I did a really good job on the commentary. It was great. I really was so excited about that and everything. It wasn't fucking Sand River. It was El Haluf. This is also El Haluf. This is El Haluf. It's another Chaffee battle, as I promised you. This is Gojonnogo. Anyway, Django here is unchained, and he's in his Chaffee. He is a Joe average player. He's platooned up with another guy in a Chaffee as well, but he's a Joe average player. And the fact of the matter is, this is an incredible match. He is extremely aggressive to begin with. Probably as aggressive as I am when I haven't played for a while, like I was talking about before. He is also not going over to the A1, B1 corner. Damn, like a fruit fly or something. Anyway, he is going to go over to the light tank scout side, but he's going to be really aggressive about this. And during the course of this battle, there were a number of parts where I said to myself, ooh, man, that's not what you should do. Guy pulls it off. And he pulls it off primarily for one main reason, and that is that in this spot right here on the map, right here, he is going to have some amazing support. There are going to be some extremely switched on people sitting on that ridgeline back there who are going to but you've got two Chaffies, and you are not going to out DPM two Chaffies. So they're both just putting some shots into this fucking guy. Bounces the last killing shot on the Leopard. As always, you will never get the killing shot. You're always going to fucking bounce that thing. But he gets really aggressive here, and he goes after the Leopard, knowing there's all those people on that hill. But guess what? The M5A1, the Stug, the T-34-85, the Hellcat, they're all going to get pounded by the folks on his hill. So he and his platoon mate go charging up. Now you see all the other tanks disappeared because they were getting a lot of fire from those guys, the Cheehee and the Stug and stuff up on his side. But then all of a sudden, a wild VK-3601 just goes ham. This guy goes insane, coming down after King Lionel. And here's a problem. Let me pause this real quick. So the VK comes down. VK's got a good gun on it, but you're facing off against two Chaffies, and you are not going to out DPM these two Chaffies, period. Just not going to happen. I don't care how good your alpha is. Not in this tier, not in this match. You are not going to be able to take these two guys on. And I don't know why the VK decided to just go YOLO here. The only problem, and the reason he's not dead sooner, and the reason that King Lionel loses so many hit points, is because our guy here, Gojonnogo, Django, is still using auto aim, and every Chaffee driver I've watched uses the auto aim. I use it, and part of it's because you're too busy driving, and you're too busy going fast, and your gun reloads so quickly that you just figure, fuck it, I'll auto aim. It does two things. One, this gun's pin is not great anyway. Um, it is a trolley cannon. It should pin, and it bounces stuff. You will see that later on this match. At the very end of this match, we're going to see that. Right now, he's auto-aimed. And you can tell he's got... and by the way, King Lionel just bounced. He's sitting here auto-aimed on the back deck of this thing, and it's not working for him. So he's just about to quit the... There he quits auto-aim, and now he starts to actually aim the gun himself because the auto-aim is going to bounce. So he's trying to find the right spot to save his buddy. But frankly, King Lionel should not have taken as much damage as he did. So anyway, this gun is just not... It's a bit inaccurate. It's also a trolley-ass gun. So King Lionel's down to 57 hit points left, and he should have had more than that. He should have had about half his life. So anyway, now we've got these two guys coming up over here, and lo and behold, of course, all the tanks that were on the hill are spotted. What's fucked up about this gun is, oh, and here comes the Chinukai. So this is good play. So he takes a hit from the Chinukai. Now there's so many shots coming on this guy, it's going to sound like hail. He's getting hit by everybody everywhere. It sounded like he was getting hailed on. Because all those guys up there, the Stug, the Valentine, the Chihi, and the two Chaffies, just took that guy out. But you notice that Django here actually got in front of his friend Lionel so that the Chihi couldn't kill him. But then he gets smoked anyway, probably by the T-34-85. So now we've got the Stug coming, who's going to hide behind the rock. And our guy's going to take a hit right there. Pretty significant whack. He should not have done that. He knows not to poke at this point. But again, Joe Average player. And he decides, enough of that, not going to poke anymore. So he's going to come down and try and show up in a different spot. He's still got all that support back there who has really done a good job helping him out. And look at this, over-the-shoulder shot. Kills the M5. Kills that Stewart. And that is the end of that. So now he's got the Stug, who's going to hit him. But the Stug is going to open himself up to all of the fire. So he gets tracked. Lucky, but tracked. And the Stug gets taken out by all the people still on the hill on his team. So the score is pretty much, in favor of these guys now. But he's still got some killing to do. That T-34-85 was up here somewhere. But all of a sudden, it's about to be artillery picking day. It's like you don't want to aim too long, because he just bounced the second shot. Now he's got the le-fi-fi-fi-fi-fi. But that guy's going to back off. He decides to auto-aim at exactly the wrong moment in time. But he says, I know where that guy is and get him later. Oh, look, there's the third artillery piece. Totally inaccurate gun. And he knows the Birch is about to shoot at him. Lands back there. Keeps missing this guy. Birch is about reloaded by now. Takes him out. Enemy is capping. They got 4 minutes on the clock for the cap. He's still got plenty of people on his team. Desperation move by the enemy. Now he's going to go after the le-fi-fi-fi-fi. And misses. Oh, that was so close. He almost got smoked by that arty. So, got all three of the artillery pieces. He's now up to 1,659 damage. 5 kills. He's going to take a shot again. Hits him. Trolley gun. Now, he is not using APCR. In all fairness, all credit to him, he's not using APCR. take him a second here to find the right spot. But the Cromwell's worried about that Churchill coming down to his front. And that is it for the clock. So he resets the clock. That guy was going to be in. He was going to be on the cap for eternity. It wasn't, just totally wasn't worth it. Shouldn't have been sitting on the cap. Now it's 13-10. Just got 2 left. It's that T-3485 somewhere over there. We know where he was. The ARL up at base going after the Birch gun. And the ARL is just trying to salvage what kind of experience you can get out of this game. And here we go. Look at this. Right over there on the side, going up the same hill. We'll take that shot, thank you. And that's the end of that guy. Now we're at 7 kills. And he asks, which I do. I think if you're having that good a game, ask. If people say yep, then great. If they say no, then you got to live with it. But he asks for the Radley Walters, and he's, spoiler alert, going to get it. So this match was not quite the nail-biter. The last match was. But again, Joe, average player, has a fantastic game on Sand River. No, El Haloof, I know, El Haloof. In the Chaffee. This is a tank that is extremely forgiving, except when you bounce, and then you bounce. Got him that time. Anyway, guys, 2 Chaffee games. Both of these really fantastic. The first guy, obviously a much more experienced player, better player. But then we have Gojonnogo here, who does well. 8 kills. Really helps to carry his team. His platoon mate got killed very early on, and by that Flying Wild VK. But anyway, El Haloof, a very good map for this kind of tank. Light, good gun, maneuverable, fast reload, good DPM. You know, just a really good map for this kind of tank. So I do recommend the Chaffee. I think that you know that it's in the right sweet spot for this tier. I hope they don't nerf it any. It certainly doesn't need a buff, but I hope you enjoyed these 2 matches. RadioRich and Gojonnogo, Django Unchained. And again, apologies, it's not Sand River, it's El Haloof, but it's fun making videos drinking wine. Anyway, this is Tanks for the Mammeries, playing World of Tanks. These are a couple of replays. I hope you guys really enjoy them, and I will catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.